Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Libby Dowsett. Your headlines are coming up, but right now, let's go ahead and check in with Corey Johnson for a check on our forecast.
Yeah, that's right, Libby. We have a nice day on tap that we are planning to have here in Portland. Right now, 57 degrees for us, and we're just past sunrise. Off to a great start today. Our Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. Not much in the way of cloud cover. We'll get cloudier as we get throughout the late afternoon because we have a storm system coming in, but we'll break that down shortly. 52 degrees for us there. And then our Vancouver camera, the Springs at the waterfront right now, 57 degrees and a nice clear sky for us. Now taking a look at our temperatures right now, it is a little bit of a cooler start for us. 64 in the Dalles, 58 in Pendleton, 44 in Baker City, a mixture of 50s throughout the Willamette Valley. Now taking a look at our day planner right now, early morning sitting around the 60 degree mark. Patchy cloud cover, 64 degrees is what we'll have around late morning. The clouds start to fill in, then by early afternoon, it'll be mostly cloudy because we have a system coming in, and then into the late afternoon, the clouds will thicken even more, but we'll top out around 75 degrees. I will break it all down coming up.
Thank you, Corey. New this morning, Portland police are investigating a shooting in Portland's Montevilla neighborhood. We have learned 2 people were hurt, though both are expected to survive. This all happened around 8 o'clock last night near Southeast 82nd and Harrison. A witness told us he heard dozens of gunshots and says this happened during a vigil for a person who was killed on Thursday in the exact same spot.
And very loud, and it was rapid fire, one a second. And then I heard women screaming, and then another round of bullets, and then police and fire showed up.
So far, there's no word on any suspects or arrests. We will update you when we learn more. We are learning more about a Portland mother and grandmother arrested at the Canadian border. They've been sitting in ICE detention for months. And as Alma McCarty explains, their case is getting renewed attention with a hearing in the nation's capital.
My name is Mimi Letnich. I'm an entrepreneur, a wife, and a mother of 2 sons. Today I'm here to talk about another mother, my dear friend Jackie.
For the past 2 months, Mimi Letnich has been the caregiver of Jackie Merlot's 4 children.
9-year-old triplets, Carlos, David, and Abby, and their 7-year-old little brother, Jeffrey.
They came to stay with her in her Portland home following a trip up to Peace Arch Park to picnic with family earlier this summer. A trip that would end in detention for Merlos, her husband, and her mother, visiting from Honduras.
As they said goodbye, agents moved in and arrested them.
Customs and Border Protection claimed Merlos had been attempting to, quote, smuggle illegal aliens into the U.S. and said initially the children remained with the mother at her request in Border Patrol custody. 2 weeks after their disappearance, Letnich, with the assistance of Congresswoman Maxine Dexter, located Merlos and her U.S.-born children. Dexter walked into the CBP facility, she said, to see them praying.
I cannot describe what that impression left on me. These 4 small children in probably a 10 by 10 windowed cell, soundproof glass, gray cement bench that they were kneeling on with thin mats on the floor, and a toilet in the corner. It is absolutely insane that this is what we have done to this family.
Letnich, able to retrieve the children mid-July, shared with lawmakers some of what they told her.
Agents interrogated the children without Jackie. They were asked, where did they live? Did they have any money? Did they have relatives? Did they have a father? Shortly thereafter, ICE took their dad. The children believe that was their fault.
She says in the car back to Portland, the kids gave her a coloring book with a message from her friend.
Jackie had written me a note in the inside cover. Mimi, thank you for everything. Hopefully this will be over soon. I will miss my babies. Please take care of them. This is so hard.
Well, lawmakers say this week that Merlos, her husband, Carlos and her mother, Juana, remain in immigration detention. However, we were unable to confirm those specifics with ICE. They did not get back to us. In a separate immigration case, lawyers for one of the 2 Oregon firefighters arrested by Border Patrol are pushing for his immediate release. 23-year-old Rigoberto Hernandez was working on the Bear Gulch fire when Border Patrol arrested him. Friday, his lawyers filed a petition calling the arrest unlawful and asking for his release. The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that Hernandez and the other man arrested were there in a support role, not working in active fire. Hernandez's application for citizenship was still pending when he was arrested. He has 1 prior misdemeanor for speed racing.
Have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look at what's happening in Portland? It's, I mean, this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control. They're crazy. We're going to stop that very soon.
What sounds like a renewed promise from President Trump to send National Guard troops to the Rose City. The president's comments coming Friday in the Oval Office as reporters asked him about his decision to label Antifa a domestic terrorist organization. It also follows his announcement that Memphis and Chicago are the next cities where troops will be deployed to, in his words, curb violence. Here in the Northwest, Oregon's governor, Portland's mayor, and many others have repeatedly pushed back on any suggestion of sending in the military. And at this point, it's unclear if the president intends to follow through. This morning, we have an update on the I-5 bridge replacement project over the Columbia River. We are now past the original time frame for the feds to greenlight the project, so they've pushed back the decision to potentially this spring. Work is supposed to start on the new bridge next year, but the federal green light has to come first. And if it takes too long, grant money set aside for that project could potentially be at risk of expiring. The bridge team also needs to publish an updated cost estimate. This week, local lawmakers who oversee the project made it clear they are running out of patience.
You know, I'm just concerned because this is driving up costs for Oregon and Washington taxpayers. And when we miss our deadlines, it really does have an impact on our transportation budget as we try to find the funding to make up for the increased costs.
The bridge replacement team says they need to start spending much of the grant money set aside for the project by next fall.